Okay. Mangroves, in fact, in Sundarban, the, there are 5.2 million people living in Sundarban, and uh, out of 102 islands, 48 islands are uninhabited, and rest 54 are habited. So these islands are below water level, river water level. So every day there are two tides, and two high tides and two low tides. So there is a tendency of tidal water getting inside the village. Uh, so there is a 3,700-kilometer long mud embankment to stop this uh, tidal surge. But we have seen from our experience that government have tried many ways, like concretizing the embankments, putting bricks on the embankments. It never lasts. It lasts about 6 months and 1 year. Only the mangrove is the thing which can protect the embankment from these upsurges of Bay of Bengal. Because, mangrove have stilt roots and pneumatophores. When the tidal water recedes, it keeps behind this alluvium. Alluvium is deposited in those roots. So a second embankment, natural embankment starts growing. And so when the tidal water hits the embankment, before that it is resisted by mangroves. And so when it hits the mud embankments, the strength becomes lower, and so it saves the embankment. That's why it's a lifeline of Sundarban people, mangroves. It works as a bioshield against storms and cyclones, which every day almost taking place in Bay of Bengal for depression. So this is the importance of mangrove. The other most important thing is mangrove is the biodiversity hub. It's a nursery of fishes, shellfishes like prawns, crabs, shrimps, and many others. So if mangroves survive, livelihood of people depends on this mangrove. And they will have, fishing is one of the major activity in Sundarbans. So they will have more fishes, more crabs and shrimps to sell. And the other thing is the honeybee. Honeybee like Apis dorsata. It comes from the eastern Himalayas to make big beehives and produces one of the best honeys in the world. So when this mangrove grows, it will give Sundarban people lifeline. Like it will save them from storms. They will increase their livelihood through fish culture, through honey collection, through wax collection. That is the importance of mangrove in Sundarbans.
Well, if it's so simple, why don't we just do it?
Pardon?
If it is so simple, why don't we just get on and do it?
Yeah, we are doing that because...
but why haven't the governments already started planting mangroves, and why have they put bricks or concrete?
That's a very good question. Government also do some plantation, but mangrove requires a long monitoring. Without that, a long management. Without that, you can't. Mangroves cannot survive because of there may be some places mangroves are uprooted by upsurges. Then we have to replant there. We have to see the cause. There should be a monitoring because people go for fishing, go for for cow grazing, for goat grazing. They use those areas. We have to stop them by our guards. Forest department do not do that. They have fund. They just put some seed, and whatever grows, the other thing gets destroyed. And regarding embankments, concretizing the embankments, I don't want to put any comments uh, that may hurt the government. But it is not at all scientific. Government also knows that pretty well. This is not at all scientific. This is not going to save the embankment, but still they do.
I guess a kind of final question. The Sundarbans seems to be on the front line, not just of climate change, but of development and of all the environmental changes that we are witnessing around the world. How would you assess the health of that particular region in the world, the environmental health and its future over the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, there lies the importance. There lies the importance of species selection, because in Sundarban there are 84 species of mangroves and mangrove associate plants. So that's a huge number, highest in world. And some of these plants are more tolerant to salt. Some of these plants are not tolerant to salt. Like Heritiera forms, in Bengal it's known as Sundari, from which Sundarban derived its name. It doesn't grow in Indian Sundarban because the river mouths are silted, and every day there are 2 high tides, so saline water comes and salinity increases. But this Heritiera requires more fresh water than salt water. So you have to choose the species. We have to choose whether Abyssinia will do that, or Bulgaria will do that, or Soneratia will do that, because this, like Abyssinia, is the most hardy salt-tolerant plant in India, in Sundarbans. On the other side, in Bangladesh, Soneratia is the most important. It is medium salt-tolerant plant. So species selection is very much important in planting mangroves, which we do through IUCN experts and our experts from local experts like Dr. Devnath is here. He's from BSI. We take their advice.